Welcome back from our Ixalan Draft League. This is Oldmanpoole. We have a heck of a pack here. Man, I really want to take Imperial Aerosaur, I really want to take Pirate's Cutlass, and I really want to take Waker of the Wilds. I think I'm probably going to take Waker. I'm actually not completely sure that that's correct. The format's pretty fast, and Waker of the Wilds obviously doesn't save you against a really aggressive beatdown start, but it does give you incredible amounts of inevitability late game. If your opponent can't answer it, this is definitely a win condition all on its own. It just makes all of your lands into pretty sizable creatures, turns all of your draws into good ones. Seems pretty powerful. Imperial Aerosaur is definitely one of the better cards in the format. Pirate's Cutlass I think is a step below those two in power level, but it's colorless, so I think it's likely to go in any deck. But yeah, great pack. Gonna take the Waker of the Wilds though. That's what you're hoping for when you open like a sealed pack though. Had like a fire cannon blast. There's a bunch of stuff in there. Okay. So Waker of the Wilds encourages us to play a little bit of a slower strategy. But this is our first pick, and we definitely shouldn't get married to it. I don't think Engrass Marauders is that fantastic of a late game payoff. It is a pretty powerful effect, but it does die to removal, and it costs 3 more than something like Waker of the Wilds, which I think is about as likely to win you the game. So, other options here. We could just take Ixalan's Diviner, which has been fine, but not crazy. Or we can take something like Bishop Soldier, Skymarsh Bloodletter, that sort of thing. I'm kind of tempted to take the Diviner, just try and draft a really slow deck. I'm not sure how amenable this format is to that, but it's on color. I don't think it's miles behind those. If you're outside of vampires, those are both only fine. Okay, following it up with a Grazing Whiptail here, a pretty great defensive threat. I've been pretty impressed with this card in general. It blocks a lot of the cheaper flyers in the format, and does a pretty good job of stabilizing you in the mid-game. Other good cards, there's a couple of good Merfolk here. Well, I guess a good Merfolk here, Tempest Caller, and a playable Merfolk, Storm Sculptor. Another Bishop Soldier. We're definitely going to put somebody into vampires with what we're passing here, but... Okay. Getting a little bit less exciting now. We could go really deep and take Revel and Riches, but I would like to do that sometime. I don't know if this is the deck for it. Maybe if you get like the sweet blue-black control deck, maybe we can make something happen. I guess what do we like here? We could just take Jade Guardian. Kind of unexciting on its own. Good if you end up in Merfolk, I suppose, but Merfolk's been looked a little bit open. We've passed some, though, as well. Could just take Slash of Talons, which is like a decent removal spell. Not exciting, but decent. I think it's probably between Jade Guardian and Slash. I guess I'm just gonna take the Guardian. This is pretty good with the various like fight cards in the set. It's not bad on its own. The hexproof does matter. Oh, well, that's beautiful art, even though it wasn't quite correct for the Brontodon. Okay, seeing some more like medium good late white cards here. Vampire Zeal and Slash of Talons are both powerful. Crushing Enemy's good, but I think I can probably pick up a couple of those later on. I think I'm gonna maybe slide into white here. I guess the question is, which do we want more? Probably, I think that Vampire Zeal is more powerful, but I think that Slash of Talons is actually a better defensive card, so I think I'm gonna pick that here. Okay, Tashana's Wayfinder, the slate's a pretty good sign for us. That's definitely a good pickup. Seen a couple of Dinosaur Stampedes. Nothing else really exciting here. Queen's Agent's fine. Windstrider's fine. Definitely not married to white. Ooh, Tashana Voice of Thunder. Seems pretty good if we're trying to get kind of a late game deck going. At costing 7, and with green, I think it's fairly likely that we can end up splashing for this card. We don't even necessarily have to be in blue, but we're going to do it. We're going to play a late game deck. We have a couple of pretty good payoffs already. Okay, Commune with Dinosaurs is fine. Deep Root Waters is a little bit interesting. We do have like a decent amount of Merfolk. Are we going to go that deep? That is pretty deep. Pretty sweet. You need a lot of Merfolk for it to be good. I'd rather just have something like with Commune here. I'm gonna take the Deep Root Waters. There's a bunch of good stuff in here, and this is pretty speculative. But who knows? Maybe we'll be able to make it work. Alright, cancel or another sentries. I think I'm gonna take the... Well, actually, maybe Unknown Showers. Helps us splash for Tishana. Although I'm hoping we'll get some of the green fixing. I'm just gonna take cancel here. We don't have a ton at the 3 spot yet. Headwar Sentries is not incredibly exciting. Alright, well we may just find ourselves in Merfolk, even though this is not your traditional Merfolk start. Hey, Chart of Course. It's a pretty good card for coming around this late. So is Skymarsh Bloodletter, though. This is actually just a pretty good pack. But yeah, we'll take Chart. Storm Sculptor, probably not what we're trying to do. I guess Verdant Rebirth maybe makes the deck. And the cancel. Yeah, I think the name of the game is just like stall out the board and survive here, because we do have 2 very powerful late game cards. Okay, Crushing Canopy coming around is good for us. I do think green is pretty open. Blue maybe a little bit less so. I could still see abandoning our blue if we open up a very powerful rare here. That's not something like Sanctum Seeker, something that really fits hard into one archetype. Arcane Adaptation, unfortunately, doesn't fall into that. We have a little bit of a decision here, because we could just take like River Sneak and maybe try and shift down and curve, and have a couple of like high-end Merfolk threats, but maybe just play Merfolk. Or we could take something like Sailor of Means, which is more defensive, but might be better for setting up the late game. I think there's not an excellent chance a Sailor of Means comes back. Otherwise, I'd try and maybe wheel it. Blue seemed open, but not crazy open. Well, I don't know. Maybe we should try doing Merfolk. I haven't really played Merfolk in the format. Even though this maybe doesn't feel like the most auspicious opening to it. We do have like a good number of them. Alright, I think I'm gonna take River Sneak. I think it is enough more powerful than Sailor of Means, even if we're not necessarily in that deck. Okay. Ooh, we got some cards here. Yeah, man, these packs have felt really strong. So I'm tempted by the Ranging Raptors. I don't think that Search for Escanta is the thing we can play, even in this potentially kind of dirtily deck. Yeah, I think the Ranging Raptors is probably what we want. Deeproot Warrior is pretty good with Merfolk. I guess it depends on which way we think the deck's gonna go. I think I'm just gonna go for the big payoffs. Merfolk didn't... Well, I don't know, we saw like a late... what's that Merfolk that taps things? Riptide Walker or something like that? I probably made that up. I'm gonna take the Ranging Raptors. Ugh, that might be a mistake. Shapers of Nature? Whew, that's a really good pickup at this point. Also, this is a card that encourages a little bit more late game play, so... Okay, I feel like we're in a decent spot here. Deeproot Warrior, probably better than Emperor's Vanguard. This is pretty premier in the Merfolk deck. Yeah. Vanguard is fine, but I think the Warrior's better. Okay, well, I'm not sure exactly where we are, and how controlling will end up being, but I do think that we're in a pretty open color pairing, so this is feeling pretty good. Take the Perilous Voyage here, pretty reasonable bounce in a deck that really doesn't have any removal to speak of yet. Well, I was feeling good. There's less here for us, certainly. Skullduggery is pretty great. Maybe we should just take the Dusk Legion Dreadnought as a sideboard card. It's very good against, like, opposing vampires, for instance, and there's just some decks that have a tough time dealing with this. Yeah, I think it's better in a Shorekeeper. Okay, I don't think this is a card you main deck very often, but there are definitely matchups where sideboarding in feels pretty good. Man, our first couple of packs felt great, but we're not seeing much now. Some good vampire payoffs. I guess maybe we'd bring in Blinding Fog. This feels pretty rough, though. But, I mean, I think we're pretty confident on our colors here. Yeah, okay, well, Blinding Fog. We'll cut our colors as best we can. I don't know, maybe I should have taken one of the other higher quality picks there. Alright. Favorable Winds, I don't think is really a thing for this deck. I'm not sure Deeproot Waters will be either, but I'm tempted to try it. Maybe we'll play a little bit slower, more controlling Merfolk deck, is that a thing? Blossom Dryad, I guess, is the pickup. Siren's Ruse looks pretty mediocre unless you got a lot of pirates, which we don't. And I'm still not wild about the Unknown Shores. Okay, Headwater Sentries or Pirate's Prize. I might be on board for a Sentries here, actually. Pirate's Prize is a little bit better card, but again, I think we're just kind of trying to delay out the game and let things like our Shapers of Nature, Waker of the Wilds, Tishana, and Deep Root Waters kind of take over. So I think I'll take the Sentries. Ooh, Colossal Dreadlaw this late's pretty good for us. We actually haven't seen much ramp outside of like Blossom Druid, or Dryad, which seems pretty bad, but we definitely have a lot of playables. Commune of Dinosaurs I think I'll often play. Kind of nice that it has the potential at least to hit an actual card in the late game, and it can take the place of a land as long as you're not going too heavy on them. Alright. I do think there's probably another Merfolk drafter at the table, but I feel like we're doing pretty reasonably. Air Elemental's probably just the pickup here. Like Stormfleet Spy a fair amount. Ixalan's Keeper's also perfectly fine. A couple of good black kill spells. We really would like to see a Pounce or Savage Stomp would be the dream here, but Air Elemental solid. Ooh, Pounce. Speak of the devil. How many Merfolk do we actually gonna have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish. I don't think this is actually gonna be a River Sneak deck. I think we want the Pounce more. Runaground is also pretty good, but I don't think this is the beatdown variety of deck. There's a bunch of good cards for us here, but I don't think I can risk the Pounce coming back. Wow, it's another River Sneak. Man. Alright, we have... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should have just gone all in on sneaks. That third one makes me think, man, I should have just really tried. And maybe we could have gone really low to the ground. 3 of these in a Merfolk deck seems pretty absurd. Okay, but anyway, I don't think we're going that route. Which means we're probably not playing the Deep Root Waters either. I think I'm going to take the Siren Lookout here. If we're giving up on our tribal synergies, I do think it's better than the Shauna's Wayfinder. Although, they're both pretty good cards. But Siren Lookout's been pretty impressive to me. Alright. At Zolkin Archer. Look at that nice pronunciation. Seems pretty powerful. It's been impressive to me most of the time I've seen it. We're looking for a couple more 2-drops just in general. Ooh, there's the one with the wind. I think we'll probably play it. Works quite well with the Jade Guardian, even though we've got only one. Putting on something like a Headwater Sentries, or even just one of our big late game threats is pretty good. Wouldn't hate having a dive down, but I think one with the wind is higher upside. Wow, another Shapers of Nature. That's actually super, super good for us. Alright, maybe that goes without saying. I don't think it's real likely we wheel like Windstrider or Colossal Dreadmaw, but if we did, we definitely wouldn't say no. Okay, here's a... So here is a New Horizons. Although we're actually not like crazy high curve. I don't know, maybe we should have just been Merfolk. I could have picked up on their Deep Root Warrior earlier. Could have had 3 of the River Sneaks. A couple of Shapers of Nature. Hard to know. And this is the first time I've actually drafted Merfolk, even though we're a ways into the format now. But I think I'm just gonna take the Jade Guardian. Depths of Desire is good, but less good since we're a little bit slower. Yeah, I think we'll take the Guardian here. New Horizons is also powerful, but we're actually not going crazy high up on the curve. Okay. Probably Prosperous Pirates here is fine. Potentially sets up for Tishana. I'm not sure what would make the cut for us, but I think it's better than the Quartermaster. And better than randomizing value for the Field of Ruin. Okay, Opt I'll play. Yeah, I think we'll run 16 lands with the 2 of these. Run Aground, great pickup this late, especially for our deck, which has so little removal. These are all good cards. Oh, sorry, these are all cards. think Raider's Wake, Blightkeeper, and Stormfleet Pyromancer are all playable in the right decks. I think the Pyromancer is playable in the most decks. Don't think we're a Jungle Delver deck. We already have a lot of stuff to do with our mana, actually. Dive down over the Sentries? Probably? Yeah, just a little bit. One more quick, easy, interactive spell. And we don't have massive value for the... for Merfolk, anyway. Okay. Yeah, I think the deck came together pretty well. It's pretty sweet. I definitely wouldn't say no to a couple more removal spells. We only really have the 2, plus an Archer that maybe can shoot something. But we have a lot of power in the deck. I think really the potential to kind of take over if the game goes past the mid-game. Definitely low on 2-drops. Yeah, I actually hadn't realized we're quite as bad as we are there. We do have a lot of good 3s, and we do have stuff that will help set up the 3-drop plays. But yeah, I guess if I could go back and like add one more Deep Root Warrior or something, I think I'd feel better. All right. Well, what are we cutting here? We are cutting Prosperous Pirates, I think. Let's group our creatures out, probably. I think we might actually cut Chartic Horse. It really requires us to be attacking to be really fantastic. It's okay otherwise, but we're already kind of spinning our wheels a little bit in this deck, I think. Perilous Voyage we like, Run Aground we like. I think we want to play one main deck cancel just because we're light on removal in general. Dive down seems fine. What's our last cut? Oh, I guess Blossom Dride's pretty mediocre. Like the Lookout. Like the Shapers, obviously. Okay. I'm not going to call it the nut deck, but we definitely do have a lot of power. And again, if we can force the game into a little bit of a later stall, we have a lot of stuff that helps us take over. Waker of the Wilds, Tishana, Shapers of Nature, even just like Air Elemental. Makes for some pretty powerful late game reach. Okay. And even though we are trying to hit our land drops and go up, I think I like playing 16 with both Opt and Commune with Dinosaurs to set up our early land drops. Maybe we should play 17. Is there anything that we really don't like? Not really. I mean, we'd maybe cut like Edbar Sentries. But even that seems fine. I can see us taking out like Dive Down if it doesn't look like my opponent's got too much. Okay, no, I think the deck is sweet. I have high hopes here. Heavier on green than blue. Yeah, I guess so. Waker of the Wilds is double green. Most of our early drops are green, outside of Opt. Alright. This will make cancel a little bit tough to play off just 7. Wonder if we should exchange it for something. No, I don't think so. Alright. The deck is sweet. I'll see you guys for match 1.